Yes. Guys, you came for MPO. We're gonna be playing some MPO.
Yeah, baby. Portable Ops.
So, MPO is fastest on the PAL region for a couple of different reasons. And for reasons I'm not going to go ahead and disclose, I have bought the PAL version of MGS1 as well. And for those of you who don't know, the PAL version of MGS1 runs at a crisp 20 frames a second at 50 hertz.
Just a beautiful frame rate.
Yeah, so it's not good. But you know what is good? Portable Ops.
Yes, Portable Ops is very good.
So I'm gonna go ahead and use a new save file here. Let me just quickly delete the one I've got there for Hackathon, which was like last week, 2 weeks ago. I can't even remember at this point.
Please don't delete yourself.
No, of course not.
You almost deleted yourself.
But we gotta do some something fitting for the event. So of
You
course
cannot use lowercase letters.
we cannot use lowercase letters. So let's lock that to caps immediately.
Yes.
It might not be good, but it's fine. Exactly. All right. So, for Portable Ops, the new game category specifically, we have only access to easy and normal. This run will be done on normal, and we are gonna get actually going here in 3, 2, 1, go. So, Portable Ops released in 2006 for the PSP, the first Metal Gear game on the PSP. It was, it shows... Ooh, nice! I got to show the warp in a marathon. Easy.
Hey, there you go.
So, a quick little story on that is that when I first learned this game about a year ago, I accidentally, during one of my first couple of runs, found that little warp because I had angled myself incorrectly, or so I thought. But as it turns out, that little warp skips you having to try the door twice and saves roughly around a second and a half, maybe?
Yeah, it's a pretty decent time save, especially right at the start of the run. Like, just going into it, saving time is a good thing.
Yeah.
So right here, we're just going to... Roy Campbell
Colonel
wants to give us a tutorial. We're just gonna bail.
Yeah.
Because we already know what we're doing. So we need to listen to him.
Yep. And there's this electronic gate here. You may have seen this stage in MPO Plus earlier. This is the prison. It's fairly easy. It's a point A to point B mission, except this exit is not randomized.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned in Portable Ops Plus, but I'm gonna reiterate here, this game is basically on a MGS3 Lite engine.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the same quirks from MGS3 apply it to this game. There are some new quirks, because again, this is a modified version of the engine, so there are some differences, but for the most part, it is very similar.
Yeah.
We will explain those similarities and the differences as they come along.
Yeah, so, to explain a little bit about the game itself and, the ranking system, the highest rank we will be available for achievement is a Tsuchinoko rank in this speedrun. That is a perfect 0 run, no kills, no continues, no alerts, no restarts, no comrades killed, that sort of thing. We could get Doberman, except we need to recruit 100 soldiers throughout the course of the run, and that is slow.
Yes.
So we're not going to be doing that.
You can actually get Foxhound in this game, but Foxhound has to be done on Extreme, which is New Game Plus only. And the other negative to Foxhound is that, similar to Doberman, you have to recruit 100 soldiers during the playthrough. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, no, that's not in the cards tonight.
Not tonight, no.
Maybe next time someone will be insane enough to route out a Doberman or a Foxhound. So, now that we're out of our tutorial, the prison/com base tutorial section, we have access to our world map, which gives us the ability to go wherever we choose, which means we're choosing the most direct path we possibly can. This game has a day-night cycle, like any good PSP game ever had. At least the UI is smooth. Not quite. So the day-night cycle actually does affect things in the run, mostly things like guard vision and the like.
Yeah, it affects guard vision, and if you have to wait between missions, it will actually recover, I believe, psyche and health, or is it just health?
It's both.
Okay.
Yep.
It'll recover both stats. So if you take extra damage in a stage or during a boss fight, and you're a little worried going into the next one, you can always do a couple extra, waits. But ideally, we're not going to do that. But that could change, because there is an element of randomness with that we'll get into in a bit once it comes up.
Right.
We'll get into it.
So the game expects us here to go to the Soviet patrol base and pick up a new soldier, but instead we're going to go to the supply depot, because here we're going to actually accomplish a couple of goals. First, we're going to recruit that soldier, and secondly, we're going to pick up some TNT we'll need. That being said, this soldier is incredibly tricky to grab from this side, so let's... We got him. No alerts. Johnny is ours for the taking.
Nice. So that grab is really difficult because of the way that he's positioned. He's too far away from the side of the wall to hear your footsteps as you're coming close, so he will only notice you when you actually round the corner. Secondly, if you grab a guard before they actually notice you from either direction, you can immediately put them in a chokehold and slam them.
Yep.
But if you grab them from the front and they've noticed you, they kind of resist a bit, and you have to kind of mash the button. And if that happens, you will most likely get an alert, even if you still slam them.
Yeah. Like Minnie said, that is incredibly tight timing. There is a small visual cue to figure out when you're supposed to grab him, but even then, that's a little less consistent than I would like. Basically, you want to try and grab him as soon as you're stepping into the door frame area.
Yeah.
So Johnny there was actually the first roadblock to getting a Tsuchinoko run started, which for single segment Tsuchinoko, I am, as of a week and a half ago, the only person who's managed to do a single segment run.
Tsushinoko in this game, really getting no alerts is pretty difficult. There are a lot of very difficult strategies in some of these stages, developed by me and Marlon, and Python as well has added some stuff into these stages, making this run, if you're going for Tsushinoko, pretty difficult.
Yeah.
Kind of made it a little hard.
I have a notepad document where I literally documented every place where I had failed in runs, and the total tally was something like close to 40, which is honestly not that many in comparison to a lot of the Metal Gear games, but it's still it's a lot.
So here we're going to recruit our second soldier. And we're going to be using a little technique. Are you going to go for the 180?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, okay. So we're going to go for something that's basically just a 180 bump grab. So guards in this game, when you bump into them, they actually kind of react to it. And you can get behind them and grab them before they are able to do anything to you.
Yep.
And this is faster than just walking around him and grabbing him by like a second or so.
Yeah, and here's
We're going to put him over to that position and then transfer to Snake, because when Snake goes over there and picks him up, it is going to basically capture him. He's going to be added to our army.
Yeah, the hospital tutorializes you on how to have a secondary method of recruitment, which is to plant a body near a box, an unconscious one, not a dead one. Plant a body near a box on the field and call that frequency that Roy just called us on, and the recruit in the box will take care of it for us. That's still too slow, however, so we're still not going to do that.
Yes, we're only going to do it here because the tutorial does the call for us. We don't actually have to open the codec.
Yeah. So those two are the only two people we will be actively recruiting. We'll get one extra soldier later on, but that's it. We have just these two, and then later that one.
That's all the recruits we get in this run. It's a far cry from Peace Walker, where we got every man we walked across.
Yeah. In Peace Walker, you had Fultons. In this game, you do not. This game really brought the base building and recruiting mechanics into the fold for Metal Gear games. And from here, they improved the formula quite a bit. But this game is still a lot of fun to play casually, and it's a lot of fun to speedrun.
This run is really good.
In terms of speedrunning MGS games, or MG games in general, this one is a fairly simple one to actually get into. As long as you can work your way around the menus. All the gameplay sections are actually really, really nice. So we're rolling up these ramps until we get a specific item later on, because rolling is technically a little bit faster than just trudging up slowly.
What's his status?
We're currently
So there we get to hear our first mention of a guy named Null, which we will be we'll meet him a little later. But for now, just ignore him. He's nothing. So we're gonna drop ourselves right off that ledge and get in here, and this is the actual mission end square. So just roll into that, and we're done here.
Mind if I read a quick donation?
Go for it.
We got $19.76 from Starwin that says $700 hype.
Yo, Starwin.
Thank you, Starwin.
Thank you very much, my friend. It was
Lovely donation.
It was a pleasure meeting you out at AGDQ.
Agreed. I enjoyed Korean barbecue with you.
So here's our introduction to the spy unit. This first report is automatic. It will always... Stop that. It will always come in the first wait, or the first mission, briefing menu after the mission. So...
Yeah, you'll always get this one first try.
Yeah.
But the others... not so much.
We'll see. We'll see.
We'll see how they go.
So, we needed the spy report to get a map to find a harbor. But there's complications along the way. We won't be seeing the harbor for another 5 to 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, around there.
So, this second visit to the supply depot is much, much easier. All you have to do is bump into this nerd and roll through him, which, by the way, is our primary method for dealing with guards in our way in this game.
Yes, because aiming is not as fluid as it is in MGS3, but we're still on the MGS3 engine. We can actually abuse Snake's really, really large roll hitbox. You can bump into a guard and be like several feet away, roll, and he'll get knocked over. You can even be like just close to him, but not touching him, and roll, and he will get knocked over. Like that's how big this hitbox is.
Yeah, I've always justified it as Snake's thunder thighs just clap with such tremendous force.
Yes, he is dummy thick after all.
I mean, look at those things; they're glorious.
I know.
The tights really do him justice here. So, rail bridge, we're going to cross this 3 times during the run, and each time it's going to be really, really simple and quick. This map really isn't that big.
The second visit, though, has a very cool strategy. So, be sure to tune in for the second visit. Don't miss it.
Don't.
It is cool.
So, we lucked out and we didn't get a spy report before the rail bridge, and that's good because now we're up to spy report hell. We need to get 3 specific spy reports in order to move on with the game. We need to do some diversionary operations to remove the trucks and guards from our path on the rail bridge. And in order to do so, we need the spy reports, which are completely RNG based.
Yes. Even if you know what it is you have to explode in that certain mission, you cannot do it until you get the spy report.
Yeah.
But thankfully, only one full cycle. Still kind of bad, but not the worst thing in the world.
Right.
It could be much worse, but we got it fairly quick.
Every time you have to enter and exit a mission to get a spy report, it wastes about 30 seconds, roughly.
Yeah.
So, for the supply depot, we're just going to hang out to the left side, and the guard up ahead will just... he won't even bother.
Yeah, we want to hug this left wall right here, and then as he turns around, we're going to keep hugging the wall as it wraps around. Then once we get to the flat part of the wall, we're going to go off of it to actually go to the truck and blow it up.
Yeah. And the guard, whatever.
Doesn't care.
Day to day.
You also might be wondering why Snake did not take any damage. That's because if an explosion sets off the end of a mission, it will not do any damage to Snake because the game knows once that explosion happens to trigger the end. In the ending sequence, Snake is invincible, so nothing will happen to him.
Right. So let me explain this first. Whenever we're going into the diversionary operations +1 mission a little later on, you'll notice that no briefing text comes up. That's a known skip. I don't know exactly why it happens, but if you just kind of mash the triangle button after going into a mission, if you've done nothing but read the spy report and maybe change around your allies, that's not the item I need anyway. You can do that. It saves a bit of time. Oh, wow. Well, there goes Tsuchinoko. That was weird.
Yeah, you rolled. Remember, you're supposed to just climb up on your way there.
No. Did I?
Yeah, you rolled.
No, I know I rolled. The thing is...
you're not supposed to roll. You're supposed to just climb up all of those inclines, not roll.
Right. But I've rolled up those before. I guess I just didn't... The thing is, I didn't waste enough time.
You might have been too far to the left, yeah.
Anyway, that's okay. That's bound to happen sometimes. So, the second thing I was going to explain was that, for the most part, runners will... or the way Minnie and Marlin routed it is that you'll split up your spies. I've kind of modified it a little bit to have them both in the same place just to improve my odds of getting spy reports, because sometimes I get real unlucky.
Yeah, so while putting 2 spies in the same area does improve your odds of getting that spy report, one problem is that you're not spreading out your resources. So if you do what Python's doing, you have a higher chance of getting the one you want. But if you do the other strategy, which is spread them out, you can actually get 2 reports in one, and then read both of them, and then so that the second time you just go right into it.
Yeah. And the way I did it specifically also puts the spies in the research lab, which is a good thing because having them there means I need to move them less later on. Because the next time we'll need to use them, I just need to move them down a couple less spots. So here's Rail Bridge 2. Snake's going to engage ESP and just realize this guy's here.
The enemy's here!
The enemy's here. And the enemy's gone. So yeah, if you take that pot shot against that guy's shield, he'll run behind the truck every single time. And as long as you hug the left wall, he won't even hear you, like, passing by.
Yeah. If you get too close to the truck, he'll hear you and turn to his right and catch you. And if you wait too long to do the shot, he will actually get up out of his cover and see you.
So here we got to do some menu management. I need to remove 2 items from my inventory. And the way I manage my inventory is not specifically important. all that matters is I'm consistent with it, because muscle memory builds up and all that. So I tend to remove the down and left items. But we need to pick up 2 items in the harbor, is what I was getting at. And the first is up this ladder. Normally, the original route didn't do this, but we've found out that this saves a lot of time later on and makes things a little easier. So we just do it now. And I'm going to wait a moment for this guy to get a little further up that bridge. Take him out, which puts that guy in a nicer position for me to just run on past him. And I was a little too quick, so I wanted to be safe, and so I stalked a bit.
Yeah.
So normally to end the mission you could just climb down there, but now we have another item to go pick up. And this one is the most important item in any game ever.
Yes, so because this is MGS3 Lite, the mechanic of the box making you move faster up inclines and stairs is still present. So we really want this cardboard box because it is going to save us a lot of time throughout the whole run.
And rolling over railings, rolling through windows, all of it is just impossible. I don't know how to do it. It just happens sometimes.
It's difficult. For some reason, the MGS3 engine, that's the hardest part. Rolling over things. Don't know why.
In reality, all you have to do is face almost perfectly perpendicular to it and you'll make it, but sometimes you'll think...
It's hard to hit that angle.
Yeah, you'll think you're perpendicular and go to roll, and he'll just kind of slide on the railing a little bit and then come back down the same side. So... here we go. Gonna just roll on into this codec trigger to make it go a little quicker. And we're getting contacted by a guy named Ghost, who we've absolutely 100% never met before. He's just some random dude with a codec. Or with a radio, sorry. It's not the codec yet.
So I believe this is the longest call in the game?
Yes.
Yeah, this is the longest one.
I'm like fairly certain. There might be some optional ones that are longer, but that one's the longest 100% absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
So here is where we save some time by having the spies in the research lab. We can just move them forward down to the security base, wait, get a report, and it's nighttime, which lines up really nicely because this mission at nighttime is infinitely easier.
Yes.
So we're going to head into this security base, and we're going to do some trickery. Some shenanigans are bound to be
afoot. Confuse some AI pathing here.
So, first off, it's a standard mission opening. You just kind of run towards the direction you want to go. Except we're going to bump into this guy, immediately equip our box, open the door, to aim directly for this guy, box up again. He's confused. He doesn't know what's going on. Unbox for this ramp because we don't want to go too fast now. Then turn the corner, wait till about halfway to the door, box back up again, door, and item. We're out of there.
Done, done, done.
So, this strat was developed on an idea of mine that Marlon expanded upon and tested and made work. Because Marlon is a freaking genius, and
yes,
really he's the MPO god.
He really is. He knows his stuff.
I do the single segment runs, Marlon does all the actual hard work. And recently, Iridescence and Jaguar King both have started learning this game, so I will finally get my wish of having more runs on the single segment board. So, alright, we're here at the Warhead Storage. This is going to be our first boss map, but first I'm going to hang to the right on this hallway. I want to stay on the right side, because if I go too fast through this series of ramps, there's a guard outside that I was just listening for, who can spot me before the cutscene plays, and she'll start moving towards me, which pretty much guarantees an alert.
Yeah.
And then roll under that. There's an invisible laser there, but we need to go past that to pick up the Mosin Nagant, which, as anyone who's familiar with Metal Gear knows, is pretty much the most important item, aside from the box, of course.
It's probably the second most important item. Maybe third. And I put the Mark 22 above it.
And I got a remarkably good cycle. I was very, very fast there, which means the lady didn't even spot me going up the ladder. So
Yeah, that's a tough cycle to hit. So that is pretty good.
And we want to roll through that door into the cutscene trigger because otherwise there's a guy to my left who will absolutely 100% spot. Sorry, alert. And we just roll off the side there and we're good to go. Now on small ramps like that, I'm not going to bother equipping the box because equipping and unequipping the box kind of causes Snake to stop for a second. It's better to just roll up the smaller ones.
Yeah, if he had the box on quick equip, it would be faster to do it, but he does not because you need to set that when you enter the stage.
And that is our last use of the TNT. Thankfully, we get all we need from that first stop in the supply depot. The Most Nagant does not need to be nerfed. I don't know what you're talking about. Forensics over here spreading lies.
Alright, so this is Python. And no, I'm not talking about the runner. This boss is Python. So we're going to bait him into slamming with his gun. We're going to wait and we're going to shoot him again. Then when he starts shooting, if he ever does, see, yeah, he does. If you look down, for some reason, Snake can't take any damage. No idea why that is, but that was a very nice fight.
Did anyone see that just now? Like, he stood still! He never stands still!
Yeah, I know. That was a really good fight. Wow.
So, our spies are thankfully right in the direct location we need them to be. I did not change my menus, so I don't need to change them now. And the airport is the final location where the text skip can occur. Which is nice, because the airport actually has a fairly lengthy briefing. So sometimes I'll equip my medkits before heading into Python. This time I kind of forgot and just kind of went in guns blazing.
And it worked.
Yeah.
It was a no damage fight.
If I do that and don't remember to put the box back on afterwards, this mission will automatically result in an alert with the way the strats work.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna bump roll this guy, and you might think, bump rolling enemies, that's like really easy, like why is this such a big deal? It's not as cut and dry as it might seem. The bump roll depends on a couple of different factors. It depends on your direction, it depends on the direction the enemy is facing, and it also kind of depends slightly less on when you roll. So sometimes you're going to see me kind of setting up a roll in a very odd direction. So that's specifically so that I can send them flying in the direction I want them to go.
Yeah, that roll he did right up there is actually really critical because you're trying to hit that guard in such a way that when he stands up, he's going to stare at the pillar. If you knock him too far on the other side of the pillar, he's going to look at you while you're trying to interrogate that citizen, that good citizen over there.
Yeah. So, we had a boss stage, and then we went to, I'll call it a normal stage. But we're heading right back into another boss stage. The mid-game is really just chock full of these things. We're tripping over them, essentially. And, yo, thanks, Zarkenzo. So, we're in the silo entrance, and we're going to be here 3 times as well throughout the run. The first and third, we're actually just not going to do anything up these ramps. We're going to just run up them slowly, which sets up a guard right in there. They came out nice and easy. And if your angle is right, you can actually roll directly over both of those railings. Okay. So, that time I wanted to angle the guard out. So, I kind of cut to the right a little bit before heading into him.
Yeah. So we were climbing up here to pick up this RPG because we're going to need it for this boss fight.
Yep. As it turns out, this boss is highly allergic to rockets. And you might be wondering, well, he's gonna kill this boss. Does that eliminate Tsushinogo? And the answer to that question, theoretical viewer, is no.
It does not.
Nope, you do not actually kill Null during any of the any of the encounters you may or may not have with him. So, Minnie, if you'd explain the setup I'm using.
Yeah, so Python has a setup here to know when his iframes are over, and it's based on what foot Null takes a step with. I believe it's his left you use.
Yeah, it's his left, our right.
Yeah, so when his left, our right takes a step, Python knows his iframes are done and is able to shoot a rocket and take him down.
Yep.
That was a very good fight, besides the first missile shot.
Yeah, that happens.
But that's okay. That's okay.
So, Snake has been captured. Oh no. So we gotta bring Johnny back into the fold on the sneaking unit. And this is helpful in a few different places. Or a few different reasons, rather. So we didn't explain it, but when you're using an enemy soldier, if their outfits match other soldiers on the map, you'll come up with a chameleon icon in the top left, which lets you know you're disguised. And soldiers of the same outfit won't make a big stink of things if you do anything other than like suspicious activities like rolling, attacking, climbing ladders. You know.
Yeah, to all the guards on this base, apparently climbing ladders is something they don't do, so they see someone do it, they're like, whoa, this guy's not one of us.
Yeah. Yo, Sublime King.
These guys do not like ladders.
Yeah, no, so that's our second trip in the silo entrance. We have one more coming up, but that's well away from us at this point.
Yeah, that's pretty far
You've
away.
done quite a number on this one.
So we now know that Snake was taken to a place called the guest house. Now we need to go find the guest house. And the game expects us to use a network of spies to go find this item we need to find the guest house. Alright, Edmund. You have a good one. Sleep well. So, the game expects us to get a spy report for this. It doesn't require us to. And Minnie, you found this.
Yes. So, I found this because I forgot to put my spies here. The initial route that me and Marlon came up with had us place our spies on the rail bridge and then wait for them to tell us they found the map. Turns out you don't have to do that. You can just walk in there and grab it. In fact, if you don't get that spy report, you get better guard patterns. So instead of, because the other way, you have to like knock out a guard and do all this like crazy stuff. But with this, you just run right there and you're done.
Yep, it also eliminates the need for an item menu. Which, Marlon himself actually didn't realize, but I've been doing this a long time just because I'm a lazy idiot. But the old route requires you to take the Mark 22 and put it on Johnny. But I don't do that because the less menuing I have to remember, the better it is for everybody.
Yeah, so it actually does save time to keep Snake with the Mark 22 with this new strat. With the old one, it would be slower. But thankfully, we're not using the old one.
So the guest house is kind of a maze casually, but speedrun not so much. We know exactly where to go. And with Johnny being a disguised, it's really the easiest mission in the game, probably.
Yeah, just run right there and you're done.
So hey, congrats guys, we've rescued Snake.
We did it, everyone. Snake is safe.
Yeah. He's freed from the torture of terrible acting. So we need to put Snake back in our unit. We need to put the RPG back on. I'm checking my ammo to see if my spies gave me any extra, which they did not. So we're good to go.
So here we're going to be doing a little strat to distract some guards that I came up with. This is my personal favorite of the stuff that I made for this game. This is the strat right here, so we'll see Python nail it.
So we need our Mark 22, run out to right around here. Your aim is thankfully... Okay. There we go. Your aim is usually good enough to just headshot with simple aiming. Ah, took too long.
Yeah, it took a little bit too long there, but that's okay.
But yeah, you headshot that guard, and then you aim for the metal girder above him, which distracts the two on that bridge.
Just run right past them.
Yeah. But I mean, that's only alert number 2 of the run, so that's really no big deal at all.
That's pretty good.
So we're coming up on Metal Gear. So
the Metal Gear fight is early in this game.
So there used to be a strat where you would run up with the TFA2 equipment and kind of finagle a really tight spot to hit all 4 legs. I said screw that when I was learning the game. much like a few other strats you might have heard me say. But the objective is to kill all 4 legs to get her out of Phase 1 and put her in Phase 2, which will happen as soon as she lands after one more fly. But
yeah, it turns out you don't have to do what we were doing.
Not at all.
You can shoot the rocket launcher in such a way in the middle that it hits all 4 legs at once.
Oh. There we go. That should be Phase 2 now.
We thought that we thought you needed to do the TNT strat, me and Marlon, but there's kind of a theme with this game in that laziness or forgetfulness saves time, because you're either lazy and don't want to do something, or you forget to do something. So right here, Python is shooting these like openings in such a way so that it basically just does a quick kill and just takes that boss out super fast.
Yeah. Phase 2 is really, really quick. Assuming you actually get to Phase 2 quickly. And also, can I get an F in chat for Johnny here? Yeah, I do need the menus. So
rest in peace, Johnny.
We now need a report from the silo entrance, which we just got. And then once we get that, it tells us there's a backup generator for a thing, or it tells us that the thing we need to open a door is electronic lock. So we need to find a power substation. So we need to put our spies in the ravine after the power substation, or after the plant, or no, silo entrance. Sorry. And they will find a way towards a power substation. Like so. So we need to get to through the ravine to get to the power substation. So this mission actually includes a very, very scary looking jump, and I can promise you it's exactly as scary as it looks.
2 scary looking rolls. One is a little bit more safer than the other. We'll point that out when we get there.
Yeah, so I did mention we are playing on the PAL version, and one reason why is that Snake auto-grabs ledges. So.
Yeah, so on PAL, they decided that if Snake rolls off a ledge, and there is something for him to grab really close to him, he will automatically grab it. You don't have to press the action button to grab it. All the NTSC versions require you to grab yourself, so...
Yeah, that jump is... Really, all it is a very specific lineup. You want to kind of brush up against the rock, kind of aiming towards the wall. But it's very easy to also just mess up entirely.
Yeah, because if you go too far to the right, you won't be in the auto grab range, and you won't be in the normal grab range, and you'll just die.
Alright, so we are done with spies for the rest of the game.
Yeah, no more spies. Just going at it.
Also, I am coming in here at daytime, which means I'm going to use so there's a new strat that for this stage that was developed 2 weeks ago.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll twice up this ramp to waste a little bit of time. Otherwise, we'd be boxing if it was nighttime. And then we're going to roll over to this ramp, or this ladder, rather. And that buys us enough time for that guy. Also, sorry for the background noise. But that buys us enough time so that that guy won't see us coming up the ladder. If you're quick enough with the box, and don't bump into anything along the way, you can make that cycle, and he will notice you immediately upon dropping down, and it requires a very, very precise ladder grab. But otherwise, you can just do what I did, roll twice up that ramp, and the guy will be looking away from you as you land.
Alright, I'm just, every time I see this strat, I'm like, God damn, I'm such an idiot.
So, Minnie and I both kind of had the thought where, why don't we just climb that ladder the first time around? Because we do in the second round. Spoilers, we're going back again. But we climbed the ladder on the second run through that level, and we always had the thought, why aren't we doing that the first time around? Is there anything specific that's stopping us? And so Marlin, being Marlin...
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. My thing was, I knew the door on the... So, when you get to the top, as you'll see in a bit, when we go here the second time, there's a door that you can go in through on the roof that will take you down to where you need to go. Unfortunately, on your first visit, that door is locked. However, I knew that, but in my mind, I was like, there's a door on the other side that we can get in, through normally. We can take the ladder to get there more directly. But in my mind, I was like, climbing the ladder is slow, so that's probably slower. So I never tested it. I asked one day, maybe it's faster. Marlin tested it, found out it's faster, but then also found out you can take that path that Python just did, and that is actually the fastest route, so...
Yeah. And the second round is a lot like the first round, except now the guy's to our right, and he's close enough to hear you if you are too quick and also land too close to him. So I kind of wanted to land a little bit away from the ladder. And I want to have that woman notice me. Please notice me, Senpai. Then we bump roller out of our way and enter this door instead. Which, honestly, we could take that other route anyway.
What the? The enemy is close by.
Oops, that's the box. Anyway, we set the time bomb down and we're good to go.
Yeah. So again, laziness and forgetting things saves time, I guess.
Yeah, you know. So, big surprise, Null's back. Gotta take him out again. Still allergic to rockets, though.
Yeah, so again, Python is going to be using the same visual cue that he used in the first fight.
Yep. I used to think that you had to shoot the ground always, but very recently I learned that you could actually just shoot him directly.
Yeah, I actually did not know that myself.
So casually when playing this game, you wouldn't really know about the rockets being his one true weakness, and you would try to fight him with normal, conventional, ballistic weaponry. And he has a tendency to block anything except for when he's reloading his own firearm.
There is a non-lethal strat where you run up to him and roll through him, so he does his like sword spin attack, and you turn around and shoot him, but that is very slow.
But yeah, I thought he would somehow manage to block the rocket, so I would always aim towards his legs. Turns out no. It's so much easier just shooting the first shot at him. So hey, Silo Entrance 3, Minnie, please explain this.
Alright, so he's going to take a very specific line on his way here. He's not going to roll up this first slope. He's just going to walk up it slowly. That is again for the same guard around this corner. We're going to roll and bump through. Be on our way. We're going to do a very, very precise roll from this platform onto these boxes, making it to the other side. Then we're going to go around. We're going to equip the box so that this guy with the rocket launcher does not see us, and that, in fact, he goes to investigate the area. Walk around him, go down, and stage is done.
Man, that is
that
so much.
mission is really hard.
That is so much easier when I don't have to be the one explaining it.
Alright, so this is the silo complex, and this stage is another reason why we're playing on PAL.
Mm-hmm.
So, on NTSC releases, there's a door that we need to get through, and that door's locked. You need to find a key. The key is in a room over a little bit to the side, but you got to do some like platforming to get it. You got to roll across some gaps. In PAL, for some reason, you can use guards to auto open the door for you. That does not work in NTSC versions. So NTSC runs have to go grab that key, but PAL can just drag this guy over here, and then open the door, and then just get rid of him. We're on our way.
So
I'm going to equip a box right there so that guy doesn't see us.
oh wow, he answered. What luck. So Ghost has a very strong likelihood of not actually answering, but his codec frequency is also closer to the one we actually need to call, so we call him anyway for a potential minor time save. That time he just managed to answer.
So box up that slope, and then we are going to box up to this guy, bump into him, and grab him from the other side. So it's basically the same as in MGS3. Guards do a double take when they see a box going, and you can use that double take to actually get close to them and get within range to slam them or grab them. We're going to toss a chaff here because there are some cameras up ahead that we need to disable.
What's that?
Then we're going to go for a swag strat, shoot over there so that guy runs around, and then grab him because this door is also locked. Bring this guy forward, throw him away, and we're in.
Yeah, this mission is the absolute hardest to actually no alert. And go figure, I do the harder stuff without a problem, and it's the easier stuff I tend to screw up. So I'm actually going to take a quick safety detour down through this door to grab these extra medkits. But for all intents and purposes, this mission is over. All we have to do is get through this door and jump down this little gap here.
Yeah. So now we are going into the second to last stage and the second to last boss fight, Cunningham. This fight, from a casual point of view, can be pretty difficult. I can understand people, maybe dying a couple times in this fight, but not us.
Oh no. So if I were
Definitely not us.
if I were still on Tsuchinoko pace, I would have equipped the 9mm trank rounds that I picked up with Johnny during that menu. However, since we kind of botched that a couple of times, we're gonna do the fun thing. So, Cunningham is riding a Dalek. He is a little separated from the platform you're on. So, the main strategy in this game is to become a rock.
Well then.
Be the unmovable object. We're just gonna crouch, and we're gonna shoot. And we are never going to stop shooting until Cunningham is done.
Yep, and that's how you beat him. On the non-lethal version of this fight, when we get his mech knocked down like that, we'll just shoot him with the Mark 22. But since we lost non-lethal earlier, we are just going to do this strat. The requirements for Tsuchinoko are no kills, no alerts, no continues, no requirement on guards recruited, and I think there's a time limit. Is there? I don't think there is. But if there's a time limit,
Ooh.
we don't know it, and we'll never see it. Also a good fight.
That was a 2-cycle, which is exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, that was a really good fight.
To our knowledge, there's no way to 1-cycle him unless you're like really, really good with a SVD or a Mosin Nagant. So, one last quick menu, and we are up to the final chapter in this run.
Yes, the Gene fight.
The Gene fight. So I'm probably not going to talk. Minnie, you're free to. I feel okay.
Okay, so Gene's going to start off with his mind control attack. We're just going to shoot a bunch of Mark 22 rounds at him that will eventually knock him out of this attack. He's going to dodge them, but eventually we'll get him. So hitting Gene is pretty strange. If you just make a straight shot at him, okay, this is the attack we want to see, the dash. The dash leaves him vulnerable, and you can get a free shot off on him. So Gene, when you hit him normally, he's going to dodge and throw knives at you. The knives do pretty good damage, so you don't want to have that happen. When he's prepping a knife throw, there's a very, very, very small window of time that you can actually get a shot off on him before he does that, canceling the attack and oh my god! So canceling the attack and
You're really giving
allowing you to do some extra damage.
Oh, Gene, stop!
Is being very mean.
I mean, it's fast, but it's also rude.
It is rude.
Ow.
Come on, Gene, get out of there. Okay. When Gene's back is facing you, however, you can actually get a free shot off. And you can get a free shot off when he finishes that, like, that knife attack, the rapid one.
Who of you can say that you
I was trying to open my item menu there, but reloading is apparently what Snake wants to do.
Is there no one
So the first one of these phases takes 5 shots. That takes 3. Or sorry, 3 and then 5. And that is time.
That was a really good run.
That
GG.
was a fantastic run.
GG Python.
Whew. And yeah, I am definitely sweating. It is hot. So, 49-45 beating Gene. I'm not sure where that stands against my normal splits, but that's pretty good. This will be a sub-hour RTA to result screen.
Yeah, that was a very good run.
Yeah, so thank you guys again for watching, for donating. Thank you for pretty much everything. You guys are amazing. Keep being amazing. We've got more runs tonight. We have more runs tomorrow. In fact, we've got a bid war in case you're interested in choosing Ayabrea's name. Again, we've met the goal. Anything extra goes to travel costs. So, yeah, I greatly appreciated everyone, and I hope you guys have yourself a wonderful night. And also, big thanks to Minnie for commentating. It's
No problem.
It's the first time we've managed to link up like this.
I know. Normally this run gets done at a time where I'm unable to commentate, but finally I was able to do it, and we did our thing.
Yeah.
We're a good duo.
Yeah. See, Peace Walker in tandem, Portable Ops in tandem. We're an unstoppable team.
We are an unstoppable team.
But anyway, that's enough for us. The marathon will be back in just a short moment with Blue Metal running Nier Automata A ending. Please stick around for that. That's going to be an exciting run.